Hello, welcome to Issues with Cartoons, the show about comics and cartoons. My name is Carl Lucas.
I'm Kyle Windle, and we are here again, joined by
Tom Williams.
The esteemed Tom Williams.
Yeah, he has graced us once again with his presence and his knowledge of all things comic book.
So Carl dug around and found a third chair.
I did.
And
it took me a half an hour.
There are 4 chairs in here.
I had to walk out to my shed and murder a barbarian.
Yeah.
And then hide the body, and then...
The one chair is just for vibes.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's...
Yeah.
we have to leave a chair for Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So, how are you, Tom?
I am fucking fantastic.
Fucking fantastic.
Fucking fantastic. That's what we like to hear here.
Yeah, here. How are you, Carl?
Let's not talk about that.
Okay, well, I want to talk about something we can talk about, which is one of the motivations for bringing Tom here and communing as we are is to talk about space.
Yeah.
The Small Press and Comics Expo in Columbus. Mm-hmm. It's going to be in 3 weeks? 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks. End of March.
New location.
End of March.
New location. I can't remember offhand where.
Isn't the Makoy?
It's at the Makoy.
Yeah, Makoy.
In Hillard, Ohio.
Which is where my wife works, so that's great. Not at the Makoy, but she works in Hillard.
Within, 5 to 10 minutes of Pack Rat Comics.
You know what's funny about... So, I grew up in New Albany, Ohio. Don't judge me. But New Albany, Ohio also has a McCoy Center. So, people were saying, hey, it's at the McCoy Center. I'm like, oh, wow, that's familiar. But
yeah,
no,
take away the Epstein and you got the McCoy and Hilliard.
Wow.
That's right.
Is it the same, affiliation and everything?
Yeah.
Is it the same McCoys? The same...
I don't know. I didn't know there was a
nice.
McCoy in New Albany.
Well, like you said, it's probably
the
built
best.
on. It's probably built on some island
Probably the
money.
best.
Yeah. So, it is the beginning of March in 2026, in case that wasn't abundantly clear.
Yeah.
All of the references we're making. But, did you do the flyer for space this year?
I did.
Yeah?
I did,
How many years have you done that?
It wasn't every year, so
Okay.
I'm kind of fuzzy on exactly how many years.
Yeah.
Last year was kind of an off year because of my cancer.
Right.
That kind of screwed things up towards the middle, but yeah.
I thought you did the flyer last year. Who did the flyer?
I did. Well, what Bob did was he printed up the space ad I did.
Oh, and he just repurposed it.
And he repurposed it as the flyer.
Okay, so...
It still counts.
Keep your streak alive.
Counts.
I think that counts.
Yeah, it still counts.
That is the art of Tom Williams.
And it's not
on
really
the
what I had.
flyer.
Well, Tom did I feel like you did a whole, I don't know, a whole zine's worth of art for this year. You did a lot of different stuff. You did an ad. You did a.
It all kind of came to me relatively in the same week.
Really?
So I just started jotting down images, and then eventually, gradually, just knocked them out. But a lot of the promo stuff I do for space is kind of unprompted by Bob, but I feel needs to happen with the promo. I did a bumper in case anybody ever bothers to do a YouTube show.
Mm-hmm.
There's artwork for that if they want to use it, and you still can. There's social stuff that's formatted for social media and just for social media, and space poster and the ad for Scribbler. Scribbler came out this week.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
It is slowly hitting the streets.
That's great. I need to get a copy. I need to get the last copy. I'm behind.
Yeah, aren't you in the
I'm
last
in
one?
the last one.
Oh, jeez.
I have a digital copy of it. I have a digital a contributor copy.
I'm sure they will give you one.
Well, all that art Brian did for that was great. And then
man,
I'm really excited for this new one. He interviewed Frederick Schott, and I think I was at CXC, and I was talking to Brian, and he alluded that he got Schott's info to interview him. Cool. And so it's cool to see that come full circle, and now the article's there. I think he's doing a Tezuka.
Big
article there. So
cool.
yeah, should be cool.
I should just subscribe and just have it mailed to me.
Right? Do they do that? Is that a thing?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
I think they do.
I thought you were joking. It was like a Marvel, like,
if they don't, then Kanini, you need to do that. But I'm pretty sure you already do.
Shout out to Brian Kanini.
Yeah, shout out Brian.
What's up?
He's probably just made 3 comics in the last,
since we started recording.
There's probably another comic coming out tomorrow.
Probably. He's probably transcribing this conversation into his own little zine or something.
Maybe, I don't know.
But cool.
Well, yeah, it's going to be exciting year. You know, Space is a 2-day festival. It's like every underground cartoonist. It's the opposite of like a Big 2 show. It's really about the creators, and it's really about people that print their own stuff.
I went for the first time last year, and I loved the vibe of it. Like,
yeah.
It definitely is like a creative first thing. You can tell that, like, Bob, the guy who puts it together, is a cartoonist, and that's where his heart is in all of it. So
it's the thing I like about Space is it's always like somebody's first show.
Yeah.
If not like Rana Telgemeier was a table there before she hit it big with Scholastic.
It's a big name.
Guy Davis was there. Like, I think it might have actually been his last show, really, before he went on to work for Guillermo del Toro.
I love Guy Davis.
Wow.
Oh my God, I would have loved to have met him.
I missed that show.
Oh shoot, Sandman Mystery Theater.
Jim Rugg, Eddie Piscor, rest in peace. He was there.
And Brian Moss.
Tom Scioli.
Right.
Nate Powell.
Yeah, Nate Powell's been there the last couple years, and yeah.
He tries to come out every year. This year he's not there, unfortunately, but
oh, that's weird.
He comes to Ohio a lot.
I passed him at SBX and asked him
if
he was coming to Space, and he told me he was, so he's not now?
I didn't see him on the list this year. Like,
interesting.
That Bob put out.
Well.
I'm not going either, so like I want to, but it's just not my year. So you know, it'll be there next year. Hopefully, I'm excited for the new venue. So I went last year when they were still at the fairgrounds, and there was a bunch of construction going on.
It was awful.
And
it was hard to navigate.
The traffic, I think, the foot traffic suffered, I think, because of it. At least on that first day. It sounds like Sunday was better. But I went on Saturday.
Yeah.
But I was so glad to hear that they're going to a venue that seems to be pretty accessible.
The Makoy is a really nice space. My wife, when she was we went to a holiday party there, a corporate holiday party. It's a really nice venue. It's kind of got a little Art Deco vibe going on.
Great. Cool.
This kind of reminds me of like when I went to SBX. Like back in 2003, that venue was kind of similar to this.
Okay.
Where it's like just in a really nice like hotel event space.
Cool.
So
that suits a show like SPX, I feel.
Yeah.
Or like Space.
Yeah, and hopefully the Makoy doesn't befall the jinx that happens to venues that we are at, where like 5 years later they go bankrupt or close.
Yeah.
Or catch on fire.
No, not this time.
No.
Matt Frizzell's usually there, Cynical Man.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's friends with Scott McCloud.
His work, Cynical Man. We're not saying he himself. Well, he might be.
Yeah.
He does make it.
Yeah.
But, have you met him?
Yeah,
you've met him.
Yeah. Bob was telling me a story last time I saw him where he was with Matt Frizzell at SBX the year he went. And he was... got the table next to Scott McCloud, and he was talking about how big Scott McCloud's line was. He said he had to like walk around his line or whatever to get to his table.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And, but it was a cool story. It was cool to hear like Matt Frizzell and Bob like younger versions at SBX. It was kind of cool. It was a cool story.
My first show tabling was I think it was the Chicago Con where I was walled out. So I had Steve Rude was like right next to my table neighbor.
Really?
Steve Rude?
And then
that's
like
so cool.
Al Williamson would have been next to me, but he was he was getting up there. He wasn't there. And then next to him was Sergio Aragonés.
What up,
Tom?
And so
how did you do that?
Well,
that's awesome.
it wound up being a shitty spot because I had
you were blocked
two
in.
walls of fans either going to Sergio or they were going to Steve. And
I want to know who to talk to, like between like Rude and Argona is like.
Steve didn't. I think I would have had a good conversation with Sergio.
Steve doesn't strike
he's
me.
got to be on the spectrum or something because he wasn't.
I was going to say he seems more abrasive.
He was a little rough.
Sergio's always come to me has seemed more like gregarious and a little more like inviting.
Yeah.
Steve, I would be intimidated by Steve. Steve
True.
Rude was learning at the feet of Alex Toth, who I would also never try to approach.
Steve was just focused.
Sure,
like, he was just focused on sketching and whatever.
You just watched that Steve Rude documentary recently.
Yeah. There's like a full length Steve Rude documentary on Tubi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't have the production value of, you know, like I don't know, like the Alex Ross documentary or anything, but it's like it's a documentary about Steve Rude. I think if you're into this stuff, it's worth checking out.
I need to watch
Nexus and all that stuff in detail. Mm-hmm. Alex Ross is in it.
I believe that.
Yeah. So
Steve
it's
Rude's YouTube channel is worth checking out if you're into like classic, like old school comic book making.
Yeah. I follow him on I think it's on Instagram, and he'll put clips from his YouTube show on there, and it's very interesting information. Like it's really good stuff, good content.
Did you talk to Argonas at all?
I didn't. I was kind of. He was busy.
Yeah.
When he wasn't busy, he wasn't on his TV.
What year would this have been?
It was like mid to late 90s.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet he was busy.
Back when the Chicago Con was actually a good show before Wizard took it over.
Okay. Yeah, and that was my next question because I've never been to Wizard World Chicago, but I've been to C2E2.
Yeah.
And I've been to C2E2. C2E2 is the show I've been to most outside of Ohio, easily. I've been to that show like 3 times.
I hear good things about it. I hear it's fun.
They had good programming.
Travis Horseman did it. He had a good time at his table, from what he told me.
Yeah,
it was cool. I think Raw's been to it too. Robbie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he went last year. Some kind of portfolio review and talked to one of the Coopers.
Yeah. There was a portfolio review that he went to there. I remember that now.
Yeah, I remember coming back and being excited about it and talking to him about it.
It fell on my birthday one year. These shows keep falling on my birthday. Like there's always like on my birthday there's some show somewhere in the Midwest.
I feel like there's life events.
But like there's I took a Greyhound to C2E2 for my birthday one year, and that was a good time. But
I thought it was weird that like I think not this last year, but the year before, like Heroes Con was on Father's Day weekend.
It usually is on Father's Day.
Yeah. And I'm like, that doesn't make it easier. You know what I mean? Like,
I did it the one year. I think it was actually on Father's Day weekend. But I usually see my family anyway. Like the following weekend, we had like a family reunion sort of thing, so it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But
I've heard good things about Heroes Con.
Heroes Con is great. I would do it again.
Yeah.
I did it. It almost make it like 10 years since I did it last time. And it is just stacked with all your favorite creators.
It's one of the bigger like as an outsider looking in, it looks like one of the bigger comic centric Comic Cons.
Yes.
As opposed to your Wizard Worlds and as opposed to your San Diego Comic Cons. Like, it is a comic book convention.
Yeah, there's no celebrities. There's it's literally about the...
And I've heard similar things, but maybe less so. Maybe you can correct me about Emerald City in Seattle. But
I have not done Emerald City. Heroes Con, if you're a comics artist, it is like... I would say it's the only mainstream show I would do again. Just because you're doing sketches pretty much all weekend.
Yeah. Well, the foot track, if there's got to be great.
It feels like an art-starved area because no matter who you are, you could be like Bill Sankovich was like off to my right.
That's awesome.
And then like in the other row was like Mark Textiera.
Really?
And Neil Adams was at that show too.
God, I miss Neil Adams. Like R.I.P. Neil Adams. Like,
it kills me I didn't like take the time to go talk to him for a little bit. I was kind of intimidated.
Sure. Yeah, I would be too.
But I did talk to Bill for a while,
That's cool.
Bill seems like he'd be cool.
Because he was even within eye shot, I could see like when he had a slow time, I could go over and walk to him.
Was he painting? What was Bill doing?
It's funny. He had the bare minimum on his table. Like he had just a portfolio he slapped down on the table, and that was it. I don't even think...
can only do that if you were Bill Sienkiewicz.
Right? You'll have no problem.
Wait, hold on. Go back. So just like a portfolio book, like you get in an art store and he just like throws that down. No books. He has
like the full setup he has like at San Diego. That one's like a borderline gallery space from what I've seen.
Sure, I've seen
this
pictures
one was
of that.
stripped down, like, and I mean, it's Bill Sienkiewicz, so once you see, everyone knows what he looks like, so once you see him, you're going to go to his table for sure.
Right.
And he was just signing books, and he had some. I bought for a friend. I bought one of these like sketchbooks he puts out.
I think I've seen those.
Signed it.
Doesn't he do one every year?
Yeah. A lot of those like guys of a certain age, they put out like art collections of their artwork.
I have a Scotty Young one. And I actually have a Steve Rude one. I have a Steve Rude sketchbook that was printed up. They're great.
Yeah.
They're great.
Mignola, I found out he puts out one, but he only has it in San Diego.
Yeah. I've heard that too. Because he did a collection of his COVID sketches.
Yeah.
Which are beautiful.
Yeah.
And you could only get it at San Diego or Aftermarket for $100.
Right.
But of course, because it's Mignola.
Right.
So you've met Sienkiewicz at a show. Who would you say that's the biggest name you've interacted with personally at one of these shows? Or do you think you could nail down who that would be?
We're name dropping here.
I want you to name drop.
Listen to Issues with Cartoons. We got all the big names here.
That's right.
We're name dropping anyone you can. I'm over here like, who else I got?
Yeah, we are 6 degrees from big names.
Right, I'm not even next to these people. These are secondhand stories I'm hearing. No.
SPX was insane. So there was a comic book legal defense fund table.
Oh.
And Frank Miller was there.
And
oh my gosh. No line. That was the most annoying.
Are you for real?
I didn't bring anything to sign.
What year?
It was like 2003.
That might be why. I feel
like that was Strikes Again.
I feel like that was kind of when he was moving into like Hollywood area, right? Like those right. Well, actually, it would have been right before Sin City.
It would have been like right in the middle of Sin City or
before like Sin City blew up.
He was there, and
that's amazing.
I wound up going back to my hotel because I was gonna have dinner with Pharrell Dalrymple.
Oh yeah.
Pharrell Dalrymple's another guy who I knew from Space. He would come along with a couple of the guys that were in this collective called Meat House, and they put out like anthologies of Meat House. Like James Jean was in that thing. A bunch of other people. I think Becky Cloonan was in one of them.
Becky Cloonan?
Yeah, it was that sweet spot at SVA. Like all the people that went there, like in that little small pocket, and Pharrell was there. He went to school around that time. But anyway, I went to my hotel room, and I got on the elevator. And then Frank Miller and Paul Pope got on the elevator.
Oh my Christ.
And Pope remembers me from Columbus.
Yeah.
Right. And so we just start talking, and then like Frank is just standing there kind of grumpy. He wants to get to his hotel room.
Right. He's tired.
And I didn't say a word to him. I just kind of like exist, you know? And that was pretty much it.
Being in an elevator with Frank Miller and Paul Pope.
And then like
that's pretty cool though, yeah.
At a Chicago Con was a really awkward elevator ride with Stan Lee.
Oh, I think you've talked about
this.
Go ahead and say it again.
I've mentioned that before. Yeah,
say that again for the show.
I got on the elevator door opened up and it was Stanley in the elevator. I'm like, and I'm like, we both have a kind of like deer headlights kind of thing, and
Stanley must have experienced that every time he opened the elevator door.
Neither one of us said a word during the whole elevator ride.
You didn't
I just got off.
How you doing, Stan?
So, and then when he left, did you just go, enough said?
Yeah, right. Did you get a no prize?
It was a no prize elevator ride.
That was a no prize
elevator ride.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's cool though. I mean, just to be in the room and when would that have been? So
that would have been like the time I went. The Chicago Con was like in the mid to late 90s.
Okay.
That's
right.
cool.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah. So
how old were you? Like 20s?
I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah.
I felt like that was a great time to go, like, to Chicago Comic. Like, I met Bernie Wright's in there.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
He signed my, like, Frankenstein book, which I still have.
I need a copy of that.
I talked to him for a while, because sadly he had no line. It was weird. I'm like, how does this guy not have a line?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh, like, I guess, like, by the mid to late 90s, I guess the aesthetic had moved away from that, but, like, even so.
Yeah.
Like, the body of work alone.
Yeah.
Frankenstein alone would get you enough attention, but that's crazy.
I like his Batman, but what was it? The Batman, the Cult.
The Cult.
Yeah, the Cult. That was a really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good Batman book.
Who wrote that? Was that Starlin? No.
I think
who wrote?
Did he write it?
Who wrote the Cult? I don't remember. Anyway, Bernie Wrightson drew it. That's cool though. Who's the biggest name you've met at a show?
Who, me?
Carl Lucas.
Probably Jaime Hernandez at CXC.
Yeah.
And then I was volunteering, and it was 2019 or 18. It might have been before that. I can't remember. And I was volunteering, and they sent me to nobody. What was weird out of the set of volunteers is nobody wanted to cover his room. And I thought that was strange, but they were all like 20-somethings, and I think I was like 28 or 27 at the time.
Old enough to know better.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a second. I'm like, nobody wants to go to the Jaime panel? Yeah, I want to. Yeah, so I went there. So I got to go in there. They had the camera all pre-set up, but I just was responsible for pressing record. And I went in there. I think I asked him a question.
Sure.
It is recorded.
What was your question?
I asked him what his influences were for Love and Rockets, and he went on this explanation of, like, he was influenced by everything in the 60s. So, like, space race, superheroes, all the culture back then. And
Love and Rockets.
Yeah, and kind of went on a big spiel about that. It was great. That's cool.
That's cool.
That's probably still on. I mean, CXC has a pretty robust library of video content on their YouTube. I bet that's still up there.
I think it's all there.
Yeah.
I think even as they progressed too, they kept filming more and more of the panels. Because I remember when the show wasn't, like, huge.
Right. Well,
it was like just kind of this thing at the library.
After COVID, when it moved to completely online for that 1 year, I think they built this happens to a lot of shows. I think they built an infrastructure for remote viewing.
I'll tell this story. I sang karaoke with Nate Powell, and Nate Powell was talking to me afterwards, and I didn't know he was Nate Powell yet. And I was just like, oh, it's that cool guy from karaoke I talked to Peter Gabriel about with. And then, like, later, I think I saw one of his books, and I, like, looked him up. I was, like, at Half Price Books or something, and I'm flipping through one of his books, and I looked up the picture, I'm like, oh, that was Nate Powell karaoke that one.
Oh, man, that
yeah, so that kind of that tripped me.
No pressure.
That tripped me out, yeah, like, afterwards. I was like, wow, that's weird.
That happened to me last year at Seventh Son at an after party at CXC.
Yeah.
I started talking to this guy. He was Latino, and I didn't catch his name, but we talked for a good half hour or so. And then later I come to find out it's Joaquin Vasquez. I'm probably butchering his name. The guy who did
Vader Zim.
Yeah, Invader Zim and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Wow.
It never once clicked to me, because, like, I guess we're like a month apart in age.
Wow.
And he is very well kept up. He looks like he's 30.
Nice.
Like,
his line was huge.
Yeah.
He had a line. He had, like, his thing opened up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane. It went around the block. It was like there was like the Kazani
at
Center.
CXC?
Yeah, there was like the Kazani Center, which is like the art gallery at CCAD, and then it was like the line went outside of the building and like around the block for him specifically. Wow. I can't remember if the mangakas got that big of a line. I don't think it was though. I don't think it was as big because I think people came out of state for him because he doesn't do shows.
Yeah, he's only recently done more shows from what I can gather. Like I followed him on Instagram afterwards. I guess he did Dragon Con too, but it was so funny. His all his originals for Johnny the Homicidal Maniac he keeps in trash bags in his closet in his apartment.
A lot of that is surprising.
That would have like Horrified that people did Billy Ireland, but that is the state of his originals right now.
Oh no. Trash bags. The decision to put them in trash bags.
Maybe the cats are sitting on top of it. I'm picturing. I don't know.
Oh man.
Who knows?
Man, oh man.
You're just sitting there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
Nice guy.
Great.
Yeah.
Shows. So anyway, space is coming up.
Yeah. Space.
Carl,
is
are you
approaching.
bringing any new product to space?
No. I'm gonna write off Shogun Bear.
Good.
Fights all monsters. Yeah, fights all monsters. Maybe a new Captain Devil mini. That's the mini I've been working on. I'll have bundles of Captain Devil mini because Tom suggested it to me. I think
smart.
That he was like Raina did that with her books. I guess had like little bundles. So I'll have Captain Devil 1 through 3 in a bundle, and then I'll have 4 through 6 in a bundle. Hopefully, I'll have 7. I'm not pressuring myself to get a bunch of stuff.
I need you to make a decision
beforehand.
on the record right now.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, sure.
Do what you want. Live your life.
Yeah, but no, I nothing new.
But like Shogun Bear Fights All Monsters is a significant work of yours. I think that it's worth an extra push.
Very time consuming work.
And what a great result from all that hard work. It turned out great.
Thank you.
Do you have it as a digital thing that you could?
I think the digital file is on my website. I'm pretty sure. I put the books on my website, and there's a digital version with them, so people can download that if they want. I can't remember if Fights All Monsters has that yet, but I put some free comics from some anthologies on my website. That's there at www.carllucasdraws.bsky.social. You can go check these things out.
Nailed it. That was great.
Oh.
Tight.
Tom, what are you bringing to space?
Hopefully a comic.
Hopefully.
A comic. I don't know what's going to come out, really, because I've got 5 different ideas spinning in my head, and it's whichever one I can get down on paper the fastest in time for the show.
Sure.
I have my backup printer in case the other one, when I went to... I keep going to mix them and seeing how late I can push it, and I think mix them is starting to blow up on it. It got to a really strange part on once I got to the shipping part of it, it got scary. So I have a backup printer which I'm not afraid to share. It's Best Value Copy.
You've used Best Value.
I know of it.
They are
literally I might use it.
The cheapest printer I've seen online.
If you just need copies.
If you just need it on paper, nothing fancy. And the print quality's fine.
Sure.
It is the same setup in a shop I used to work at when I recognized they dropped which printers they use, and they're fine copiers, but 3.2 cents and a side for black and white, and 9.9 cents for color, which is the real kicker. Yeah. Nobody has anything that cheap. You won't find that in town.
Best Value.
Best Value Copy. And I mean, what drives it up is which paper you select. But I would recommend that if you
just need a book. If
you need a book and it's Hail Mary time, because they say on their website they can get it shipped in 24 to 48 hours.
That's kind of cool.
That is
kind of cool.
Because I've held off
2 weeks.
Yeah, right? I've held off on making
something
physical copies of my stuff, and it's mainly due to cost. But that might be something I look at just to have an inventory.
No, you should get Thunderduck.
I think of Thunderduck because I've gotten questions about Thunderduck specifically a few times, and I need to get.
You should just go to Best Value.
Just go to Best Value.
Yeah,
they should.
Best Value.
And if they want to sponsor the show, contact at IssuesWithCartoons.com, and
shout out to Best Value Copy.
We'll give you the Best Value promo.
Yeah, we'll give you a promo for an unlimited amount of Avengers episodes.
On your first order.
52 at least.
Yeah.
Also, per their website page, on your first order, the first 200 copies in black and white are free.
Oh, bro. Why not do it?
Or if you choose the color out, the first 50 color copies are
What
free.
about single colors? Thunderduck has one color. It's yellow, so they would probably count that as color.
It's either CMYK or it's black and white.
Yeah,
There's
so
no.
they would call that color.
Yeah, it's not Rizzo. Like,
we're not cool. We're too old for Rizzo. Okay, we're too old. Yeah, I missed that train.
We could fake it.
Might as well call it Jizzo.
Hey, you know, I am doing an anime festival this year, so you know what? Maybe I'll put my wig on and try to be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll be like Steve Buscemi in that meme.
I'll be like Stan Lee. My hair will be there. I won't have hair. I'll have hair again.
If you want,
it's just it's part of life.
If you want a comic that you can see from space, or if you're in trouble and on the road and you just need to kind of flash it so the cop can see you, Rizzo.
Yeah, get
Rizzo's
that
way go.
Yeah, get some
Neon,
Rizzo
hot
prints.
neon.
They'll guide your way home.
Wow, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
So
space.
As long
as
pending some printing stuff, you'll have a comic.
Yeah. I've been having too much fun. Like ever since I've been reading Jeff Lemire. Like Lemire likes taking and doing mashups like different superheroes.
Yeah.
And creating something brand new from that. And I kind of ran with that. That's maybe 2 or 3 of the projects I have kind of flooding in my head right now.
What Lemire are you reading right now?
I haven't picked up anything new from Lemire in a while.
I haven't either. That's what I was curious.
What about Black Hammer?
Black Hammer, yeah. I haven't.
I read the first collection of Black Hammer. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
I would like to read the rest of it. It definitely seems like it's in my wheelhouse.
It's really good.
I love that artwork in Descender, where it's all like watercolor.
With Dustin Nguyen?
Yes.
Yeah, Dustin Nguyen's beautiful. His work is
like
oh my god.
Not my favorite Jeff Lemire book, the way it's written, but the art is like incredible.
That first issue
elevates
cover is so evocative. Like it's such a stunning visual.
I'm a sucker for sci-fi though.
Yeah.
Like if anything's sci-fi, I immediately like it. If it's a sci-fi book.
Have you read Sweet Tooth, Carl?
Yeah.
Okay, so
no, I haven't seen the show either.
There was a period of time after, I think specifically around Gaiman's Sandman, when Vertigo started moving in this direction of like taking old, shelved concepts of DC and having different people pitch them in a new and interesting way. So like Scalped by Jason Aaron was a scalp hunter pitch that eventually morphed and evolved into a completely different idea. Sweet Tooth was like Jeff Lemire's Commandy pitch that sort of morphed and evolved and became a completely separate thing.
Okay.
So anthropomorphic, boy lost in a dystopian world kind of thing. Yeah. And it's completely different from Commandy. It's not a Commandy remake, but it was like the seed of the idea came from Commandy, which I thought was it's a great book. And the first season of the show is good anyway. I haven't watched it.
Because Commandy was inspired by Planet of the
Apes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which again makes perfect sense. We just read what did we just read? It was a Kirby book that had anthropomorphic. Oh, I read it. No, you didn't read it. I'm reading Thor, the Kirby Thor run right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I got to the High Evolutionary and the Knights of Wundagore, and I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, it totally makes sense that in 5 years this artist would go on to make Commandy, because it is a lot of the same tropes and ideas and themes and stuff. But that's probably the Lemire book I've read like the most of, because I read that from beginning to end. But
this last year I've really been getting into Commandy for the first time. Like I read the Superman issue, and then we did an episode on the Demon too, but that's
Commandy,
it's Jack Kirby related, but
Commandy is great.
This year I've been buying the individual issues of Commandy. This last Comic-Con I was at, that's what I got. I got like 3 issues of Commandy. There's this one dealer I know, he's selling them really cheap. I'm like, I can't believe this Jack Kirby book's $3.
$3.
Yeah, like let me just grab this, and they're not like super beat up.
The animated short for Commandy is one of my favorite things that DC Animation has made.
What film was that attached to, or was that something
Society? The Justice Society movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Which
I watched the short later. I don't know if I watched the Justice Society one. Was that the one where they're in World War II, or is
correct? Yeah.
Oh, okay, I did watch that one.
Justice Society, World War II.
Yeah, and it's like Wonder Woman.
It's Golden Age Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Black Canary.
I did watch that.
Et cetera.
I did see that.
If you're a JSA nut like I am, it's a fun watch. I don't know if anyone else would care, but I enjoyed it.
I just started reading Starman.
Starman's great.
Yeah.
Starman was my favorite book. I still think it might be one of the best things that DC made, as a complete work.
Tom, what do you think about Starman?
Starman?
What's your thoughts?
I could never get into it. The art was okay. I saw when I was at BaltimoreCon, I got to see some of the originals because Tony Harris was there. The originals were huge.
Really?
Yeah.
His style. I haven't met, but I was introduced to Tony Harris's work through Ex Machina with Brian K. Vaughan. And by then, he had kind of moved into a much, he would take photo references and essentially trace the photos and costume them and set dress them and everything. Starman, though, took me by surprise because it was much more him, cartooning, basically. It was him, drafting, original ideas. And I think Starman, I hear a lot of people who have read some of Starman say they couldn't get into it, and I attribute that to it being such a slow burn. Because I read it in the omnibus collections, which have 20 or 30 issues in them, and by the time you really get rolling with it, it is incredibly engrossing, I think. But it also changes the art halfway through. About issue 40-ish, Peter Snaber takes over.
Okay.
And there's a really interesting backstory to that. But this is not a Starman episode.
Yeah.
But anyway.
We're just... Yeah.
No, I mean, so Archie Goodwin was the series editor, and he passed away, and that began, the rift between him and James Robinson. And James wanted to write the story to take place in outer space at a certain point. And Tony Harris said, absolutely not, don't want to do that, not interested, we're not doing that. And James said, well, that's what the story is doing. And so Tony said, okay, I'll leave right before that happens. So he did 45 issues, and then Peter Snaber did the rest. But yeah, so how far into Starman are you, Carl?
I'm not very far. I'm to the first talking with David. And then
that's very early. That's
pause on it. Yeah, I've been reading the letter pages though, too. I'm not just reading the,
because you have the individual issues.
Yeah. So I'm reading, and the letter pages is interesting because he's like, send me your thoughts on what you collect. I like to hear from collectors, and there's this whole it's kind of this meta commentary on comic book people are collectors and his thoughts on that, and it is interesting. It kind of reminds me of what Grant Morrison did with the Invisibles, where he did those weird spells or
there's
whatever.
There's a kinship there.
There's
with,
some
the
weird meta thing going on with the Starman letter page that I think's really cool that I would like to see more of. So many books our era
that's missing.
Yeah, in the 2000s.
Yep.
Got rid of the letter pages, and I just think it's a bad move.
You had Cup of Joe as a Stan soapbox thing, but there was nothing to substitute. I think they just offloaded that onto forums and social media. They just figured that was redundant. But man, when you look at them, one of my favorite things about Marvel's 60s omnibuses, excuse me, is they include oftentimes letters pages. I know the Fantastic Four one does.
Yeah.
And
you want to see that stuff.
That's an artifact of the whole thing that made Marvel Marvel. So it is the omnibuses that I was talking about with Starman. He would always get someone else to write the intro, but he would always do an afterword. And the James Robinson afterwards were fascinating every time.
Speaking of Cup of Joe, Joe Quesada's Substack posts have been really great. He's been
You sent me one about I forget what
he's placing a character in a scene.
Yes,
and
that's
it's
what it
just
was.
all about
staging.
Yeah, it was about that, but it was also the posture of the characters, and he went more into that.
Character
and okay, yeah, if this character's yelling, they should be standing up, and the character they're talking to should be seated, and it was all about positioning the characters. Anyway, It's really well written.
Yeah.
And I would recommend it.
I do
to
think
anybody that's trying to make comics.
He was doing
a great resource.
I liked reading it. I thought it was a classic Joe Quesada troll moment, though, where he used One More Day artwork as examples for the whole block.
Yeah, maybe he is trolling people. I don't know.
Because the title was like my worst day at Marvel, and then he...
Oh yeah, yeah, he totally
the screen grab was of One More Day, and so all the comments were like, "It was my worst day of Marvel too."
He's not there anymore, so he doesn't care. It really feels like with some of the stuff recently that the gloves are off. And
I know something I wanted to talk to you guys about.
Okay,
I want to talk about Mike Richardson.
Okay.
Because Mike Richardson is no longer Dark Horse.
Oh, yeah, that was a big thing this week.
Yeah. Remind me the name of the video game company. It starts with an E. It's like, that owns Dark Horse now.
Oh, I don't know. There's some kind of conglomerate.
The conglomerate that owns Dark Horse, they bought them like a year or two ago. And as soon as that happened, we knew this day was coming. But Mike Richardson, the founder and president and publisher of Dark Horse... Yeah. One of my favorite publishers in the industry, after 40 years is now gone.
Yeah.
Which is fucking mind blowing.
Yeah.
It just really feels like we are now completely removed from. We are now completely in the corporate comics landscape when it comes to main publishing. Because I feel like they were a holdout for a long time.
Maybe you guys will laugh at me for saying this. And okay. You can.
I have before.
You can. But it just kind of feels to me like the old world is dying. In a lot of ways.
I'm laughing in agreement. Sure.
Hold on. Because it's like you had Diamond collapsed. Yeah. Diamond's like trying to repay debts they can't. Yeah. They can't repay, selling stuff in their warehouse. You know, I read the article about IDW's not doing well either. And then we have things like a corporation's buying Dark Horse and then switching things up, and you know what I mean. It feels like the end of an era.
Well,
and we're all on Kickstarter,
right? Well, right, and that's the second part of this conversation, right? But like if we're talking about main publishers, like main comics publishers, who when you go outside of, I don't even know who owns Fantagraphics. If Fantagraphics
is still ran by Gary Groff.
So they might be one of the last holdouts, honestly. But like in terms of like monthly issues being pushed out on comic store stands every week.
Yeah.
Like I think Oni is corporate now.
Oni is corporate.
Boom has been corporate for a long time.
Oni doesn't take submissions. It's just,
And then, I guess Image would be considered not corporate, although, like, I don't know. It seems like they're getting their funding from something. So, I guess if we can just pour one out for Mike Richardson and the era of comics publishers being autonomous for a quick minute. Gary Groff notwithstanding, but
some of my favorite comic books, honestly, like just
as a Star Wars nut,
just between like all the Dark Empire stuff and all the Star Wars Dark Horse stuff, and Hellboy and Sin City,
Indiana Jones comics, Madman, Fear Agent. Yeah. You mentioned Concrete.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kinds of prolific and not for nothing. And this, I think, makes it even more frustrating for me. It was like Image before Image in its own way, where it was like a prolific alternative with a creator-owned component in the main comic industry.
I think there's like people that aren't comic book people look at Dark Horse and Image and Oni and Fantagraphics, and they're like, oh, those are indie comics. Right. Because they're not Marvel and DC. Right. But it's like, I feel like we've even moved past that, where Image is just as big as like Marvel and DC.
I wouldn't characterize
same with Dark Horse. Like, Dark Horse is a big brand. It's not an indie comic.
I wouldn't characterize any of the companies you just named as indie comics anymore.
Yeah, they're like just as big.
And they're corporate now.
Yeah.
And a lot of comic shops would. It's because
they're not Spider-Man.
Because they're not Spider-Man. Yeah, sadly that is the majority of comic shops view on Image
Right. Well, and
Dark Horse.
Ergo, they get to the point where they have to sell their assets back to Marvel, or they have to sell their entire company to a video game developer. Yeah, like the guy they got to replace Mike Richardson is from the video game executive world. Like he's not.
I know.
I
was saying that. Yeah.
I worry about any staff at Dark Horse. I worry about any creatives at Dark Horse. I worry about any IP at Dark Horse.
I mean, I think it's maybe I'm fear mongering, but
how could you not?
Yeah. I think it's not without
capitalism.
Maybe they changed the name. Maybe it's just there won't even be a Dark Horse. You know, like it'll get sucked up into
Oni ditched their. It was a perfectly nice logo that I
the
think
Oni
Dave
the
Gibbons designed.
Yeah.
For a shitty little graphic you can easily see on your smartphone, but it looks like crap.
I was talking about this with Carl regarding comic book logos, but like the corporatizing of logos drives me insane. How they
awful.
just use the same like Helvetica font for everything.
Oh, you're talking about like the
like
Marvel logo,
book titles, movie titles, company logos. Everything is just so sanitized and colorless and boring. And I work. Dark Horse
serifs.
No serifs.
No serifs.
Sans
serif.
There's a zine title if you need one. No
serifs.
No serifs.
Like Dark Horse was such a vibe, and I know that came from Richardson. Like that was Richardson's taste. I feel like was pretty apparent when you looked at the Dark Horse
tastemaker.
I mean, where would Sin City have landed? It would have had to wait until Image, I guess.
It probably did. I thought they came out roughly around the same time.
Because Hellboy was 89. Hellboy, I think, was 89, and Image was 92.
I know Sin City was in Dark Horse Presents, because I've slowly been grabbing Dark Horse Presents out of, like, back issue bits when I run into them. And they might have, like, concrete.
You might need to go a little quicker now. But, I just wanted to acknowledge on record that...
What are your thoughts on it, Tom? Because
4 years is a good run.
Sure.
He was like... I've met most of the people involved at the beginning of Dark Horse, except for Richardson. I met Diana Schatz. I met Bob Schreck.
Cool.
And I had a portfolio by Jamie Rich.
Sweet.
Because he was there at Oni right before you left, and I got James Lucas Jones was my editor. It was like right there in the mix. In like 2003.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, Dark Horse has always been in my life, even like as a teenager. As I think I mentioned this before in an earlier podcast, but one of the guys I went to high school with went to the Joe Kubert School, and he became a production assistant for Dark Horse in the early days.
I think you did mention that, but or maybe that was off the record.
And and he went on.
Talk to me about it.
He went on to like paint art balls and make a killing doing that. Like he meticulously would paint like baseball card stats and everything on baseballs, and then sell those at memorabilia shows. Like hand painted.
There's a niche for everything.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
That's life after comics.
Yeah. I've been trying to get him to like get back into art because he kind of gave up on it after a while.
Yeah,
and it kind of flamed out for him.
Yeah.
But
I think there's something to that where like comics are so like intensive, and they're so time consuming, and there's so much rendering and there's so much drawing involved, and you're getting paid so little for it by the end of it, and it's just it's a story I hear all the time of people needing a break from it, stepping away from it, going to do something else,
Right. Well, when you can take any number of skills that it takes to make a comic, and any one of those you can go and make a pretty decent income in some other industry, right?
Yeah.
Like, going into character design for Guillermo del Toro probably makes Guy Davis... Guy Davis is no small fish, right? Like, he had a pretty good thing going in comics, but, like, I know he's making more.
Yeah.
I mean... and any of the things that we talk about, costuming. I mean,
like concept
graphic
art,
design, literally. I mean, anything. Storyboarding, anything that part of your brain uses to contribute to a comic that pays you pennies. By the time you break it down by the hour, I get the temptation for sure. But man, it'd be hard to walk away. But I get it though. So Dark Horse was a presence in your...
Yeah, I looked when they rebooted their Dark Horse Presents book. I was in there twice. It was weird seeing me on the credits with Jeff Darrow's name next to mine.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I was in there twice. One of them got me a Harvey nomination that I lost out to Matt Fraction.
If you're going to lose to somebody, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, I like Betty Cloonan's book better.
Which Matt Fraction book?
It was Hawkeye.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was an issue of Hawkeye. Becky Cloonan's... one of her zines that she did, which was really good. I liked it better than Matt Fraction's.
I love Becky Cloonan. Becky Cloonan's amazing.
She's so great.
She's so great.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I never. It was always set up via the writer.
Okay.
So I never had any. I just did the art.
You didn't have a direct line.
Turn it in. No. And no corrections or anything. Just kind of.
No. That's not.
That's nice. Not having an editor, not someone telling you what to do. Like, fix that face.
Yeah.
Fix that face.
I don't like that face. Redraw that.
I like your corporate editor voice that you have there. Yeah, that's great.
Fix that face, true believer. That's not how Yosima would have drawn it.
Let's get Al Plastino in here to ink over that.
Let's get Big John in here.
That's a niche reference.
Got corrections.
Who's that guy who was basically an eraser? Like he just
Vince Coletta.
Yeah.
Coletta. The Al Plastino references to the Fourth World, where he would draw Superman and he was off model, so they got Al Plastino to come and make basically the Kurt Swan face on top of all of Kirby's drawings. Did it to Jimmy Olsen too. All right, so.
It's a brave new era we're in. You know what? You know what's strange to me is that Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane are like the new Stan Lees of comic books because
they're elder statesmen.
Yeah, they're the elder statesmen.
Ambassadors.
Same
of
with
comics.
Jim Lee. Jim Lee. We have like an old Jim Lee. You know, he's in charge of DC. It's a strange era. I really do. I feel like the last 10 years have been really weird.
A lot of these guys are getting up there. It reminds me of how old I am when I read that Michael Richardson is 75 years old.
I didn't know he was that old. Okay, well, now I'm a little less upset. I understand.
Gary Groth is 71.
Really?
He doesn't look it, or act like it, but he is 71.
It's just strange to me because it's like I grew up reading Tim Sale interviews. And now Tim Sale's passed away.
Well, that's another thing.
You know what I mean? It's just
strange, We've had a rough go in the last 5 years of some stalwarts from our childhood. We talked about this when on the show we recorded last week. It won't come out for a while, but you can go down the list and we won't because it'll be too sad. But there are some heavy hitters from our upbringing, from where we were coming up in comics as fans, that. They're not there. So the only ones that are left that are the statesmen are the founders, the millionaires who were
from the 90s
taken care of enough to not live such a harsh, stressful life to where they die in their 50s. It's been a strange decade in comics, to be sure. But like you said, though, like you were alluding to, and this is the second half, while all these traditional, I'll say, comic publishers are moving more corporate, I feel like the transition for up-and-comers is now Kickstarter and crowdfunding and Substack
doesn't
and
it
Patreon.
Feel like it's like that's the industry now, though? I'm not trying to be... it feels like to me that... Hold on. It feels like to me that direct market is dying, and it's all about who can Kickstarter. I mean, like, I even had a conversation with Caleb Thursett about this at a con.
Yeah.
For like 30 minutes. We were talking about like the future of the comic book industry, right? And he was like, I think it's all going to be Kickstarter, and it's just like who can get the most followers to get their books made. And I'm like, maybe. I don't think we're far off from that. From what I've seen,
I don't know that I fully disagree. I will say that as someone who's been reading since 1998, that is a refrain that I've heard about every 4 or 5 years about the direct market, and it's always been next it's going to be bookstores are going to take out the direct market. Yeah. Oh, now it's digital comics are going to take out the direct market.
Yeah, you're right. Like you mean like the death of the floppy, like the floppy's gonna die.
It's Kickstarter. I think it's just it's a metamorphosis, and it's going to be incumbent on retailers to pivot.
I don't think floppies will ever go away. That's not what I'm saying. No. I'm saying like the bulk of the industry seems to be slabbing books to increase their value, to create a more valuable comics market.
Those key issues.
A more healthy comics market is slab collectors. And the other big monster in the room is Kickstarter. I'm not saying that floppies are going to go.
Kickstarter.
Yeah, I'm not saying that floppies are going away. I think there's a fan out there that will always love floppies, and floppies will always be made, whether that's on Kickstarter or Marvel and DC are going to keep making floppies.
No, but
like you know what I mean. Like that's not going anywhere.
This is a way that it's definitely changed. There was a time when you could break into a Marvel or DC as an up and comer, right? Like
keep going. I like where you're going with this. Like, keep going with this.
Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld weren't pumping out minis and indie comics and self-publishing books before they came to Eric Larson was, but like, you know what I mean? Like they developed their craft and then they submitted portfolios and they broke into the industry and climbed the ranks of. And then you can take that major example and shrink it down to any kind of like smaller kind of journeyman artists. And now I feel like that has changed to where like if you want to break in, you need a crowdfunder like Kickstarter because like
Tom, do they let new people in?
I think Marvel and DC are watching how people do on Kickstarter.
Yes.
Right, it's a bellwether and then they base it off that.
It's true.
I think the days of like cold submitting Marvel
that's gone. That's gone.
Marvel and DC, they're mostly hiring from out of country.
And that's the other half of this. Yeah, because I was going to say if you're in the United States or in the North American continent, you're it's that much harder for you.
You have a lot of guys complaining about the page rate going back down again.
Right. Because if you're not going to take it, the guy in Brazil or the guy in Spain will take it.
As recently as Stephen Bissett, who hasn't like done a new comic, but he knows what's going on. Like last night on Ink Pulp, he was like, everything's going downhill in page rate.
The page rate hasn't moved up in as an industry in years.
Not only that, but he went on about the creators' rights.
Yeah.
And how like a lot of the things that he was fighting for in the would have been the 80s or 90s, I assume. Mm-hmm. He doesn't directly say, but you know, a lot of those creator rights are things happening now. That there's a lot of parallels of like where creators aren't getting paid enough. There's it was the Ink Pulp Live, so it was like James Mahfood and it's Jim Rugg and you know, Jim Rugg was urging people to go read that. Yeah. He was like, go read your creator rights.
The Creator Bill of Rights.
Yeah, like go know.
Yeah, because it was like him and I know McLeod was there and the list of people that were in the room that were working on that was actually pretty impressive. But
yeah.
I think the last big name, well, at least from like when I was reading comics, like when I was a kid, is Kevin McGuire has, I think, retired from doing comics because the page rates are so bad.
Imagine just letting Kevin McGuire walk away. Stupid. No wonder the industry's crashed. Yeah, they are idiots.
They have like the best JLA page ever where Guy Gardner gets punched his lights out by Batman.
Right.
That's
it's really the only thing I know Guy Gardner for is getting punched by Batman.
He's got a punchable face.
Yeah, he does. I actually, one of my early Captain America comics was a Kevin McGuire, Fabian Nicieza, like prestige series.
Was that the retelling of Captain America?
Yeah. It was like basically Captain America
It's
Year
beautiful.
One. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. And he only did 3 of the 4 issues because fucking Marvel can't just wait a fucking month to let the man finish his pages.
That was exactly like kicking Steve Root off of X-Men Children of the Atom.
Insane.
That miniseries, yeah.
Such a pet peeve. Or George Perez off of Infinity Gauntlet. That same kind of nonsense.
The art's incredible. It's like, just let him finish it. Like, I heard a story of Dave Gibbons almost got kicked off of Watchmen.
I heard this
at
too.
Issue 11.
Can you imagine?
Hold on. Can you imagine Watchmen without Dave Gibbons drawing 12?
No.
Like...
It doesn't become a graphic novel at that point.
It wouldn't have the lifespan it's had if somebody else drew it. Like if there was 2 artists attached, you know, it's
1,000,000,000% true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think there's something to that. Like, just let the creator create. Like, let them finish the book.
And this is relevant because I think this dovetails into something else that you mentioned when you're talking about getting foreign artists, and I think part of that is the devaluation of art as a part of the corporate package that you're getting.
Yeah.
And they don't feel the need to have the continuity of artists. Most people can't keep up with what they sometimes have twice a month schedules. So you have runs with a dozen artists in a given span of issues.
Yeah.
And maybe one writer, but like, it's become more and more a writer's medium, which is not wholly a bad thing, but it is a change that I think is important to remember and acknowledge. Because if you are not writing your own work, you're surrendering some of that control that they used to have when you used to put out a book through. But yeah, like, what is even the incentive anymore to do a corporate book now? I don't know.
I think just personally, I would rather read something someone wrote, you know, and drew them, like a cartoonist. Like, I would rather like read a cartoonist than I would read a big 2 book at this point. You know what I mean?
At least knowing that the artist had a say in things, like at least know that they were a collaborator.
And not just a hired,
not just a plug
not
and
just
play,
like,
which
yeah,
is what
like,
it feels like a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Not every time. There's exceptions to everything. We were just talking about the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow book before we recorded, and like that's a great example of an artist from issue 1 to 12 who was clearly a collaborator. So it happens, but I do think it's less so than it was when I started reading in 1998. Certainly, I don't think that era is here anymore. So yeah, I think if you want to break in and be a contributor as an artist, I think Kickstarter is where you go first. And then if you really, really want to draw Spider-Man, you just need to hope that C.B. Cebulski sees your Kickstarter blow up.
I've kind of hit a wall just doing the local shows in Ohio.
Well, you need to get on Kickstarter.
And I talk to people about what to do. I talked to Tom. Tom's one of my comic uncles, you know, and I talked to... he's making a face. Like,
he talks about you all the time, Tom.
I talked to... I talked
Tom told me I should get on Kickstarter, and I said, he's right.
JM Hunter and, you know, like Caleb. Like I mentioned Caleb earlier, like, I'll talk to these guys at the shows and stuff. I'm like, what... Like,
shout out to JM.
Yeah, shout out to JM. Maybe he'll join us next week. We don't know yet.
He's under the weather right now.
We have another stool. We're ready for him.
I know. I want to hear his hot takes. I want to hear his hot takes on the comic industry.
He's got him.
Yeah, he's got a ton.
He's got him.
Yeah,
we need to put him on record. Is the other thing. Put him on record.
I want other people to hear it. That's the thing. Like, I don't want to just like, he'll send me a text at like 10 a.m. and be like, okay, this is what I think of this. I'll just be like, all right.
Good things. All good things.
Yeah,
you know, all good things.
Yeah, but
I hope he listens.
But like I said, okay, so most of the creators in the area are like, Carl, get on Kickstarter. Get on Kickstarter. Or promote your books more. Stop drawing more books. And I'm like, no. And to that I say nay. To that I say nay.
But you do. You need to do both. And here's the thing: if you don't promote, you're not going to be able to do a Kickstarter. Very well.
It's
you
true.
Have to do both.
It's true. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah,
you can do it though. You're prolific. You have all kinds of back catalog to promote.
I was told it's the entertainment industry. This is not an artist industry. This is an entertainment
That's
industry.
what your comics Uncle Jim Rugg told you.
Maybe. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah, but I mean, it is, though. I mean,
yeah.
Especially as we're moving away from valuing the art side.
Look. If they want you to get on TikTok and sing a song and dance about your comic book, you are an entertainer. Yeah. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to say you're not.
Right.
At that point, right?
Yeah.
As we move video content here.
That's how Darwin Cook always described it, though. Like, I remember one of the last cons he ever did, he did a spotlight panel, and he talked about how he doesn't consider himself an artist, he considers himself an entertainer. And I think there's something about that for a certain subset of creators, that's true. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can still be an artist. You just have to be a commercial artist.
Yeah, right.
There's a commercial part to that.
One big thing at Space that's happening is I forgot to mention. We're talking about Jim, and Jim is affiliated with Power Pulp, which is this up and coming distributor.
It's a new distribution system.
Oh, I've not heard about
it. It operates more like a co-op, really, when you think about it.
Okay.
You check them out. They will be at the show, but they are co-distributing like their comics through one.
You were telling me.
Yeah, because there's a few local creators that are involved
they're
too.
Growing. Yeah, there's a little curation to it, so be aware of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure probably they're getting flooded with everybody, but
yeah.
They're like gradually like saying, "Hey, come on board." They were half joking about it last night on Ink Pulp with Stephen Bissett, but
I think the whole idea is really interesting. Of like,
so when you say like it's a co-op, like they're selling things on consignment, or
they're trying to get more comics in the stores. Is I think the premise is like, let's branch out from comic stores
with Power Pulp. So it is like you have to, as a store, you have to spend up to $200, and it will be at like the retailer discount, which is like half off cover, and or you can buy it through their website, and they will send it to you.
Okay.
At full price, like the creator gets that full.
Got it. So there's like an online store avenue, and there's a wholesale avenue.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
The artists are sending in their books on consignment.
It's honestly
it is on consignment for the artist. So if they sell it, they get commission for it.
Yeah, but you know, from everything I've heard, the artists are getting paid, and it's all. Yeah.
It's honestly a better deal you would have gotten than you would have gotten if you went through Diamond.
That is what I was going to bring up, because that sounds
that's crazy to hear that actually.
But it sounds like it though, because I mean, you got like a third.
There's like a third, like the third party is a publisher.
Yeah.
Through Diamond.
Yeah.
But half is good, because I think I want to say like it's even less. The publisher gets even less of a cut from them, because Diamond gets a cut.
I think it's the Wild West right now, man. You got to start thinking outside the box, and you know,
it feels like I said, not just like Mike Richardson stepping down in like the implosion of Diamond. It really feels like everything.
It's just everything.
Everything right now is just turning a page.
Yeah.
And right now,
yeah,
and you could take that however you want to take it, but
right.
I feel like we're definitely stepping into this new era where things aren't going to work like they used to.
Yeah, it's definitely going to have to change. I like that as an experiment that they have the direct sale and the wholesale kind of in conversation. I think that's really smart. So, good job, Jim Rugg and company.
Yeah. Well, he signed on later. It's two guys, and I think they're gonna.
The Coates brothers.
It's like they're gonna be there at Space. I think Jim's not going to be there, but his comics will be.
Right.
As anyone else is distributed through Power Pulp.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it reminds me of this. I watched this one panel. It was at SBX one year, and they were one of the retailers was suggesting that, where instead of you, the publisher, reaching out to stores, get together, and instead of you, it's like 6 of you or 10 of you or whatever, and as a group, it makes it easier on the retailer.
Right. Because why should they take a risk on like a one single small publisher?
Yeah.
Your odds are risen if you are pulling from different. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Damn.
That does make sense.
I've tried cold calling like stores to see if they would carry my book, and they're like, I mean, they're very kind about it, but they basically told me no.
Yeah.
Which sucks, but
yeah.
I always like that about the Laughing Ogre, though. Like, the Laughing Ogre's been really supportive. I remember being in Pittsburgh when I was in art school, and I went to IDES, like, with my book, and they were like, they laughed at me. They were like, get out of here. And then I, like, moved to Columbus, and Columbus is like, sure, Carl, we'll take your, you know, I think Lauren was there or someone was like, we'll take your indie books. Like, we'll gladly take them and put them.
Try, like,
you know what I mean?
And you try a Copa set. I mean, now they're called Doom Planet, I think.
Yeah, you know what? When I was at Pi last year, somebody came to my table and they were like, you need to go. They were like, your books look like something that would be in Doom Planet. Yeah. I haven't gone yet. It's just all time.
I feel like Phantom of the Attic.
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh, but they sell indie books for a really long time.
I feel like Phantom of the Attic would do it too. They had a lot of indie-friendly stuff. I know it got a huge.
Oh yeah,
there was a list floating around one of our circles that we are online with that had like, it wasn't comprehensive, but it was like a ongoing database of stores that were open to indie submissions, like indie books. So like there is like a collection of stores out there that you can do. But it's nice knowing that any of those stores that are on the fence have a distribution model available to where they could take a flyer on some creator-owned indie books.
Quimby's is another one.
I was going to bring up Quimby's because that was the first time I've ever seen a bookstore that did consignment as like the main model.
I think they got bought, but
what?
They made a stipulation that the owners carry on
like keep the same business model.
Like business model, yeah.
I
want to say they did get bought, but.
Because I remember hearing, I went to Chicago after I got married, and we went to Quimby's, and it's a cool vibe. It's a cool store. Like everything there just seems more handmade and personalized. Yeah.
Oh, I have something I want to talk about. Space O Comics, the new O Comics. I have a new 5-page story in that.
Woo!
And J.M. Hunter.
How long have we been recording? How long have we been recording?
Over a year.
No, I'm saying in this moment. How long is this episode? Why are we just now promoting your new O Comic story?
Yeah, it's kind of horror tinged. It's a bit like Lynx. It's kind of a callback to some of my earlier zines, but it's a nice new, like, it's kind of Twilight Zone inspired.
Some vintage Lucas.
Yeah, some vintage Lucas, and you know, like, I was telling Tom when he came over, I just think it's super cool to be in a book with Bob and Mike Carroll and Matt Frizzell and Gary Dumm, and like to see my name next to all theirs, and Brian Canini. And all of them.
Shout out to Canini.
Yeah, shout out to Canini. Yeah, and like I said, it was cool getting the book in my hand, flipping through it. I'm like, wow, I'm next to all these guys. This is cool. Yeah, so I was pretty stoked about that. And that's premiering in space.
Great.
No comics every year. So yeah.
Awesome, man. And you did the cover to the previous O Comics.
I did. That was a great year. Yeah, last year at Space, like I said, I don't think I'll top last year. Last year was pretty great. Like. It was fun. I got to do the cover. It was a good time.
Good times.
Yeah.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
hookers and blow.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Booze and dames. Booze and dames.
Yeah.
As Frank Miller would say. Booze and dames.
Wow,
the dark night strikes again. Booze and dames. Yeah.
All right. Before we go, do you want to talk about lanterns?
Lanterns. Yeah, why not? We're like giving like our free commentary on everything. We might as well.
Hey,
that was the other.
You're here.
Yeah, I feel like that was the other big news item.
It's like this week has had a couple of news items and
like Mike Richardson stepping down, big thing, you know, and then
and Lanterns
trailer.
Starring Aaron Pierre and Kyle Chandler, who I love Kyle Chandler, by the way. I'll just say up front, whatever this show is. I'll be glad that Kyle Chandler's in it because I like Kyle Chandler a lot. It has nothing to do with the fact that his name is also Kyle. He is just Coach
What do
Taylor.
you mean?
He's Coach Taylor, that's all. First impressions.
Who's going first?
Tom has, I can feel it. Tom has an opinion.
Tom, yeah.
I saw the new trailer today.
Okay.
And I want to say up front, I've never been the biggest like Green Lantern fan.
Yeah.
And the costume, I can hear the nerds in the background just flipping the fuck out over the costume.
There are YouTube thumbnails already.
Not even remotely comic book correct.
Right.
It looks like a steampunk like cosplay mashup.
Yeah, it looked a little like a it looked like a lot of the Gunverse costumes, just with the color saturation turned down. And what I mean by that is, it looked like a motorbike jacket.
Yeah,
I already saw the fans blowing up on TikTok over it. Oh my god, they're so mad. I watched this video. It was somebody was comparing and contrasting the suit in the closet with the Ryan Reynolds movie, and they were talking about how they prefer the Ryan Reynolds movie, and it had like 20K likes.
That is
like
funny.
Like this video was blowing up, and I totally disagree with it though. I like the new suit.
I like the new suit. I'll tell you what I'm curious about is Nathan Fillion is showing up in this show. It's been confirmed. So
from Superman.
So he's going to show up in that very saturated green costume.
Yeah.
So how will that square peg in that round hole fit? It will be really interesting. So, okay, costume. Beyond the costume, what is your feeling?
Well, Nathan Fillion would and always will be my first pick to play Hal.
I remember they made a fan edit trailer like years ago, and he was always my pick until they made him Guy Gardner, and I was like, actually, that makes sense too.
I had a pick for Guy Gardner, and it was that
Sean William Scott.
Dennis Leary would have been.
Dennis Leary would have been actually fabulous.
Perfect.
That would have been.
Batman would definitely punch Dennis Leary.
That could have worked.
Still, it could have worked.
Still could have.
He still could have played, but nope. We got Nathan Fillion.
Okay, so you're iffy on the costume and the casting. So we're really batting below 1,000 right now.
And I thought when they said that, it's going to be sort of like True Detective vibey,
right.
and I kind of like True Detective. It's like a procedural, directed by David Lynch, sort of.
Right. Yeah.
It's a little weird, wacky.
Yeah.
But no, they were serious about that, and it feels
legitimate.
like another. The trailer felt like another season of True Detective.
Yeah.
I agree.
A Green Lantern costume at the end.
It feels like a deconstruction of Green Lantern, and anytime, I've said this before, anytime you do a deconstruction of superheroes, you lose a little bit of the fun and the power scale.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm watching this trailer, and I'm kind of like, opposite of Tom, I like the detective angle. I think it's cool. I think it's a cool take.
They're space cops. They're just putting it on Earth.
What I'm worried about is we're going to get 6 episodes in, no suits, no rings, and then we're going to get like an hour episode at the end where they're both in the costume. And from the trailer, I kind of feel like Hal Jordan's going to be a bad guy by the end, and he's going to turn into Foul Next. Now, I'm just...
Parallax.
I'm just predicting that, but...
You might.
We'll see.
Or he'll die, or he will be like a mentor. It could be. We don't get enough from 2 minutes to really know.
But the cast I couldn't be happier with. I mean, like it looks.
I love their chemistry. Their chemistry is great.
Yeah.
Like a little bit, and like Kyle Chandler, I think is incredibly underrated. He should be a huge star, I think, because he's got so much charisma. And I do think if you're going to have an older Hal Jordan, I definitely think he can pull it off.
This is look, fans are complaining already. This is better than Ryan Reynolds. Like, can we just be happy? We should be happy.
Can we just be happy about something?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what really shifted my thinking about the whole True Detective thing, because I agree there is something lost, right? Like you lose some of that space opera element. You lose some like. You know, that cosmic epic that you could have. And then someone brought up Hard Traveling Heroes, and I thought, they're just gonna maybe set this up to be like, instead of Green Arrow, it's Jon Stewart, and they're gonna be hard traveling. Like it's that flavor of Green Lantern. And if they do that, or make it like True Detective by way of X-Files, into what will eventually be a recognizable Green Lantern, I think there's a version of this that can have a trajectory that would be really interesting and that can still be faithful. I think if you're going into it, it's weird coming off of shows like Superman and Peacemaker and into something that is very HBO coded.
Yeah, I want it to feel like a prestige miniseries, like where there's big moments with them as lanterns, because otherwise it's just going to be like a retread of Smallville, where it's like you have like a Kryptonian villain of the week that they're driving out to go stop, and like I think it's going to be
more serialized than that. I do think it's going to be more serialized.
Yeah, I don't want it to be X-Files, and hopefully season 2 we get the big space opera.
Sorry, by X-Files I don't mean episodic storytelling. I mean like it's a bunch of weird stuff happening on Earth that these two agents are investigating, and it ends up being a larger extraterrestrial conspiracy, and I think that's the pitch that we're actually gonna see.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see like Sinestro though.
They haven't
like
cast.
With the yellow.
They haven't cast.
They haven't cast, really. Mm-hmm. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, sorry, spoiler. I guess.
What about his Green Lantern's girlfriend Carol
Ferris? I think she's cast too.
Really?
I think so.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Spoilers.
We don't know.
Contact at IssuesWithCartoons.com.
Sinestro could be on a computer monitor for 2 seconds, or he could be the main villain. We have no idea.
Yeah,
I would like
zero idea.
Some nod of Alan Scott in there.
I would too.
Original.
That would be cool.
Somewhere.
I would too. I think there's definitely a place for that. Especially, I mean, after like the mural Easter eggs where you have guys like Wildcat and Jay Garrick and everything kind of in the background, like, Alan Scott could very easily play into all of that. I think it would be a huge missed opportunity. It might not fit in this series, but I think in the larger DCU, he has to be acknowledged somewhere.
I'm so impartial though to like who the lead Green Lantern is. Like, I don't care, just because of strictly the era of comics I grew up with. Like, Hal Jordan was already out of the picture, and Jon Stewart was on the Justice League cartoons, so I'm on board for, like, having Jon Stewart as the main Lantern.
Right.
And then...
But not in the books at the same time, which is so wild to me.
Who's the artist Green Lantern?
Kyle Rayner.
Yeah, Kyle Rayner was, like, on the Grant Morrison Justice League.
Right,
book,
he was in JLA. He had a great...
Yeah,
Judd Winnick had a great run on him.
Like, what Green Lantern's in the TV show, like, I kind of don't care, as long as it's well written. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes. And also, it's about time for Jon Stewart to get a live-action adaptation.
I think so.
It's long overdue.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that when Ryan Reynolds' movie was made. I thought my entire generation thinks Green Lantern is Jon Stewart.
Right.
Nobody my age and younger at the time gave a shit about Hal Jordan.
It's true.
He was a character of a bygone era. Now, of course, that's completely changed.
With Rebirth.
Well, with Rebirth and everything that came after it. But
Jeff John.
Right, but the Green Lantern is for our age group, pretty much if you were a reader, it was Kyle, and if you were a viewer, it was John. But like, so I'm glad for that. I'm glad that we have a seemingly very talented actor playing John, and that he's going to get some time, and hopefully there's opportunity for him to show up other places.
I like the joke in the trailer about the squirrel Green Lantern in the car.
Yeah.
That was good. Like, I like that, like, tongue-in-cheek, like, let's joke about the rest of the Corps.
That felt very James Gunn.
Yeah, that was fun.
That feels like James Gunn had a note for the script to include.
It would be funny if that squirrel that Superman saved would have gotten called up.
Tom! Oh, that's incredible.
That would have been cool. That would have been cool.
That would have been cool, James!
It's not too late.
You blew it!
It's not too late. It could be. Oh, that'd be amazing. No, but like
imagine that level of continuity in our DC universe. That's what we want. As comic book people, we want that much.
Like
continuity.
if you gave the John Henry Irons origin to that squirrel, where he's like, "I was saved by Superman. I have to be worth something.
Right.
I have to do something worthy of being saved."
I want a spin-off film. Like, God, we're gonna do Jimmy Olsen. We might as well do the squirrel.
Just do Chip.
Yeah.
Chip the Green Lantern.
Shogun Squirrel.
But like, we are missing out on things like Chip and Mogo or Kilowog when you leave it on Earth.
I love the design for Kilowog.
It's so good.
I'm excited to see that character in live action.
Yeah,
they do that.
I mean, sure,
that'd be
I
cool.
got a Kilowog I like. I got the superpowers like toy.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
Nick McFarlane put out. Yeah,
That's
awesome.
Cool. Yeah. I'm sad McFarlane lost the license, man. I'm kind of like annoyed.
Yeah. Who has it now? Mattel?
Mattel in the Mattel... Look. The Mattel figures do not look as good as the McFarlane ones. I don't care if you have like those gripes that the McFarlane ones are statues or whatever, but the Mattel ones look like... Yeah.
I did have to get like the He-Man meets Thundercats thing. I have almost all of them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Because those are pretty cool. Like,
those are cool.
The one I skipped on was Chitara.
Well, last week, me and Kyle were rewatching episodes of Toys That Made Us, and we revisited the Turtles one.
I can't believe that show's 10 years old. I love Toys That Made Us.
The one,
that was a great show.
The one gripe with that Thundercats line is that they did a Battle Cat one. In the Battle Cat one, he actually has like the He-Man body, but he should have been twice the size.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
And maybe furry. That fake, like, that bad, like, Moss Man fur would have been, like, a nice touch.
That's why. Wait, Mattel made that?
Mattel made that.
What? I can't even look at the new Marvel Legends anymore. I just don't want to. They're dangerous, man. They make them so good now. Like, all the Marvel Legends are so cool.
Every time they announce a new wave, I see like 4 that I want.
Right. It's like that for me too.
Are really annoying, but I love them. Are the Mondo sculpts? Because you're like, that looks cool, and then you look at the price. I'm like, I am not paying $200 for that. No way in hell.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Mezco can be the same way, or like Hasbro Labs, those like prestige action figures they make, like for
the HasLab, the big projects.
Those are like $100 right out of the gate too.
Yeah,
it's nuts. It is nuts. I've never seen.
I see a lot of people on TikTok with that Galactus figure though. With that, the giant like $200, $300 Galactus.
It would look pretty nice next to my display case.
Yes.
It would look pretty nice. But it would devour my bank account. And he only devours planets, so I can't let that happen.
You would have to
explain that to the lady.
Yeah.
You would have to get the ultimate nullifier.
Right, yeah. Keep going. To do what?
It's to nullify Galactus.
Nullify Galactus' impact on my bank account.
Yes. Thank you for saving that. I don't know where else.
Just like I'll save the planet from Galactus. I'll save you from your own statement.
Yeah, so space is 28-29. End of the month.
Yeah.
At the
Makoy.
And you each have your own separate tables there.
We do.
It's free parking, free to attend. There's not too far away from a food truck court.
Yeah.
You can walk to it and come back.
Yeah.
And Hilliard's a nice town. You should just hang out there for a while.
Hilliard's a great little town. There's a lot of little cute little shops there and restaurants and Pack Rat's there if you want to do some...
Pack Rat's a great store.
And they got a great elementary school with a really hot kindergarten teacher.
Okay.
That's my wife. It's my wife, everyone.
All right.
I can't believe Kyle said that on there. Fine.
It's all right.
We'll leave it.
Shout out to Kyle's wife.
Hey, babe.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, you got our thoughts on lanterns. You got our thoughts on 80s and 90s comic books. You got every celebrity we could possibly
shout out to this tea I drank. It is a heel tea.
We are that show now.
Yeah, we did this last week. Yeah. No, please, Tom, review the tea, please.
It's a nettle and rosemary blend, and it's sparkling, so it's a little fancy. And
much like this show.
It was,
We're keeping classy here at Issues with Cartoons.
In my mouth.
It was an experience in your mouth.
Yes.
Tom Williams.
That reminds me of the time, I met Jeremy Bullock and talked to him about George Lucas.
And he had a great experience in his mouth. Where is this going?
I don't know. Because we were name dropping celebrities earlier.
That's true.
Let me just name drop all my con experiences.
Many great experiences as we can.
All right. Come see us at Space. Kyle, what projects are you working on?
What's now, I'm trying to get this preview book for Six Ronin done before Space, and I'm also working on my contribution to the anthology that we are doing for Six Ronin. And I'm also working on my graphic novel series, The Savage Tales of the Dinoswords, which is almost done in the script phase. I'm also, now that I know about best value copies, thinking about putting out physical editions of my back catalog.
Yeah, we need Thunderdog.
Because it's been a long time since I've had a back catalog print run of any of my stuff. So.
You should print both of those. Just do 50 copies of each.
No big deal.
Once I found out best value copy, I'm like, why do I need to,
why go anywhere else?
Yeah.
Go to Monks and deal with the shitty downtown traffic situation.
Right? Yeah, why go to Columbus and argue with printers? Why?
Tom, what do you have coming out?
There is...
Can't talk about it.
Well... technically it is Image, but it's an imprint through Image.
Oh, spicy. Okay, great.
But I'm only good for 10 pages of the story. But I think it's based on this. I think it might be coming out in December, but I don't know.
Okay, I'll ask you off the air which imprint that is.
But that, I haven't even gotten. I'm supposed to be getting reference for that yet, so I haven't even. I've got the script, but I haven't seen any reference yet. Should be good.
Great.
And then my own crap, which I'm just kind of slogging along.
Don't call it.
It's not crap.
It's not crap.
It's not crap.
It's, yeah, I'm just.
You have to give me 3 put-ups now.
3 put-ups.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how we do it here.
Right. Yeah. No negative self-talk.
No negative.
Push-ups or put-ups?
Put-ups.
Put-ups.
Yeah.
Put-ups.
You guys need to date more kindergarten teachers.
Just
so a put-up is when you talk positively about yourself.
I love
give yourself a compliment.
librarians. I have a thing for librarians.
Excellent.
Always have. But...
Wow. In another life, my wife wanted to be a librarian, so I guess I do too.
I might have dated a librarian. I don't know.
You gotta date a librarian.
You should remember, librarians are notorious for cataloging and remembering things.
The dirty librarian thing is real, Carl. You need to experience that.
Okay.
It's good times.
Okay. I really hope my wife doesn't listen to this. So, all right. So, books you can't talk about, and your own not crap, your own great content, and they can find that where.
DrawRobotDesigns.com, and I am known as Draw Robot on most social experiences,
including in-person social experiences.
I'm usually on Instagram.
Yeah.
The Facebook deal is I have to physically meet you in person to be friended on Facebook.
That's a solid rule.
That
should just be
good practice.
I get a bunch of randos, and I even put it on my Facebook profile. Just go to my Instagram.
Yeah.
Nice. Redirect them.
Yeah.
I think I'm private on Facebook at this point.
Look. www.carllucasdraws.com. You can buy my comics and zines. Shogun Bear in the House of Horrors.
Carl needs to make this about himself.
Shogun Bear fights all monsters. Captain Devil bundles 1 through 3, 4 through 6 at Space at the Makoy.
6-7.
That's right. 6767.
Furthermore, sign up for Carl's mailing list.
Yeah, sign up for
his email list so that when he finally gets off his ass and starts a Kickstarter,
that's right,
you will be the first to know, and you can be an early adopter of his whatever he does.
And coming to a library near you. I'm doing something with Comics Fest this year in May, and then I got some other libraries I'm going to show up to. Yeah,
I've heard good things about that.
Some other ones.
I'll be at Pie next weekend in Pittsburgh.
That's right.
One day, 15th, Heinz Historical Society building.
Yeah.
Banana
the floor below us might be haunted. It's all like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Oh, that's great.
If you survive that floor, you can come on up to the event space where I'm at.
Do you have to like fight your way up?
It's like the little creepy dolls stare at you, and you think they're watching you the whole time, and they probably are.
They might be, you know.
Yeah. And space, and then I also I'm going to be at Pack Rat Comics. They are doing their free comic book day event, which is always nuts.
When's that?
May 2nd.
May 2nd.
You want to get in on the bouncy castle thing before it gets contaminated by kids.
All right.
So get there early to experience that. The joy.
All right. And with that, I think we're ready to go.
More issues to come.
Stay tuned. Woo! Woo! Yeah.
Standing over Tom Williams.
Yeah, Tom Williams.
And his not crap.
Space.
I did it, Dad.
Space. More flyers. More space.
More flyers, more space.